Enter Jigen in Boruto Episode 204, titled He's Bad News. Studio Pierrot absolutely destroyed it on this legendary fight between Naruto and Sasuke versus Jigen, who is actually Ishiki Otsutsuki. After Jigen had locked on to Kawaki's karma signature, he teleported himself into the Leaf Village, and in trying to take back Kawaki, Naruto stepped up to bat. Jigen took Naruto to a different dimension, to which Sasuke was able to come and help fight. Every once in a while in these Boruto episodes, we get a crazy animation episode, just like the Naruto and Sasuke vs. Momoshiki fight in episode 65, and the more recent Kawaki introduction in episode 189. Now, the reason they're able to make these particular episodes so good is they hire an army of web gen animators. These are animators that post their animations on Twitter, and directors and producers will handpick them and ask them if they want to work on the official production. Web gen animators love Sakuga. They love these very long and high frame combat scenes in a single cut. Some of these were even up to 18 seconds long of raw animation with no cuts, and it delivered a spectacular action-packed, action-full episode as we got to see Naruto and Sasuke going all out fighting in this different dimension where they didn't have to worry about hurting anyone or anything in the Leaf Village, but Jigen was just way too strong. This guy is insanely OP. His main mechanic is being able to shrink matter, and just like the chakra rods that we saw used various times in Naruto Shippuden, Jigen also can use these chakra rods, but what he does is he basically throws, I guess, these very tiny little darts. They're so small you can't even see or feel it, and then when they're in you, at the right moment, he resizes the matter and it ends up piercing you like crazy. At some point during these hand-to-hand combat scenes, he's actually throwing tons of like tiny little microscopic needles, I guess, into his opponents, and then whenever he wants to counter you or inflict critical damage, he resizes them. So this was a particularly difficult mechanic for Naruto and Sasuke to fight against. They actually did fare pretty well in some circumstances. They were able to deflect them, but they kept getting pierced over and over and over again. Now Naruto, obviously he has super fast healing and he was okay, but Sasuke was suffering terrible damage to the point where he was pretty much about to die near the end. Jigen also had crazy strength, I guess due to the karma, as we've seen from Boruto and Kawaki. When they activate the karma, they get super strong and fast, and so Ishiki, who is a master of karma, who is the one who's been imprinting Kawaki, obviously is going to take full use of his karma, and he just completely crushes Naruto and Sasuke when they're fighting in hand-to-hand combat. Eventually, Naruto and Sasuke go into the Kurama mode and Susanoo, and the fight is just absolutely ridiculous animation as Jigen is flying through the air in these crazy Sakuga scenes. He's like running on Kurama's tail, he's running and flying up Susanoo, and it was just a spectacle of animation. I mean, some of the stuff in here, obviously movie grade quality. This episode was insanely polished, and it's one of those episodes that you can just go back and watch over and over again because it's almost pure combat. Unfortunately, most of that combat is Naruto and Sasuke getting completely annihilated. They didn't really land too many hits, and actually, if you slow down the footage, every attack they do seem to land was actually blocked by Jigen, so it doesn't really appear that they really did anything. I mean, they almost caught him off guard once when they forced him to absorb Naruto's giant Rasengan. But yeah, I mean, this guy is the most powerful Otsutsuki that we've ever seen so far. I mean, there might eventually one day be like a king of the Otsutsuki. He may be like the final enemy, or the god Otsutsuki, which was teased in the manga. Ishiki is the one who inhabits Jigen's body, right? And he was the pair of Kaguya, so he's been around on Earth for a very long time. Kaguya tried to backstab him, and he's basically just been surviving. He's been living inside Jigen. He like shrunk himself, I believe, and jumped inside Jigen's ear and kind of is like a parasite, so he has a karma, but I think that's the reason that Jigen's body is cracking and everything like that, which we saw in the episode, because it's not a true karma like Kawaki's is. At the end of the episode, Jigen seals Naruto inside this urn sort of thing in the different dimension. He says that it would be too hard to kill Naruto, which I don't really understand. I mean, he had him pinned down right there. He could have just finished Naruto off, but he goes after Sasuke, and Sasuke escapes using the Rinnegan, and then we get this super dramatic scene where Kawaki is holding a picture of Naruto, and they talked about earlier in the episode that they don't have to worry about Naruto as long as Kawaki's prosthetic arm is functional. Because Naruto imbued his chakra into the prosthetic arm in order to make it work, then the only way it'll fall off is if Naruto dies. And as soon as Naruto gets sealed in the urn, we see Kawaki's arm fall off, and you see this crazy expression out of Kawaki as he believes that Naruto is actually dead. Some more interesting things about this episode, you'll notice this little throwback to Madara vs. the Shinobi Alliance done by Hiroyuki Yamashita. I'm not sure if this is him again or if that was a WebGen animator, but anyways, that caught my eye immediately. Also interesting to note how Jigen was able to just take out Sasuke from within his Susanoo so easily. Like, there was like no defense, so I didn't really understand that. I mean, Susanoo was supposed to be, based on Naruto Shippuden, the perfect defense, but here in the anime, Jigen literally just flew straight through and kicked Sasuke out. Maybe that's just because he has the karma and he is Otsutsuki. I don't really know, but Susanoo got completely stomped. It couldn't land a hit. It didn't perform any sort of defense in the end. That was unfortunate, but Naruto's Kyuubi mode, wow. I don't think we've ever seen it go all out like we did in this episode. There was this one scene where he's just slamming his tails on the ground, and it was so fluid and so well done. I mean, wow, that is my Hokage right there. Naruto definitely seemed like a complete beast in this episode, and Sasuke as well, just simply using his Rinnegan to teleport around. He almost cut off Jigen's head. Unfortunately, Jigen had some of those chakra rods implanted in his neck to use as defense. You'd think someone that cocky and overconfident in their strength wouldn't put some chakra rods in their neck to use as defense from getting their head cut off, but I guess this man has literally thought of everything at this point. Not to mention, just the pure, raw, hand-to-hand combat Sakuga in this episode was out of this world, so hats off to the animators, the webgens, and the in-house staff. This was spectacular, and I love the fact that Studio Period is really investing in these hype fights and these hype episodes. Naruto vs. Delta wasn't spectacular. It wasn't up to par as something like this or 65 or episode 189. But following the pace of the manga, I believe the next major fight we're going to get is Koji Kashin vs. Jigen, I believe, and that should be spectacular. And then the next major fight after that we're supposed to get is Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, and Kawaki versus Ishiki, which should last a little while. I'm sure they're going to animate the crap out of that, especially when Naruto shows off his Baryon mode. So this was just a spectacular episode. I wanted to talk about it with you guys and break it down a little bit. Boruto has some of the most hyped fights in anime right now, and Studio Period is absolutely killing it lately. So as long as they keep up the great work and they don't resort back to filler, which could easily happen fairly soon. I mean, they're catching up to the manga very, very quickly, and I'm guessing that they're going to animate all the way up to the end of this Ishiki arc, and then they're probably going to go back to filler for like another 200 episodes or whatever. But for the time being, the anime is very good, so you should definitely watch it.